Hi everyone, welcome to this video on sorting in Syncfusion Xamarin Forms data grid. In this video, I will show you how to enable sorting and how to enable tri-state sorting. Also, I will show you how to sort columns programmatically, sort column by double clicking, and finally, I will show you how to disable sorting for an individual column. I am using a sample application that was configured with all the necessary data grids namespaces and data. You can download this getting started sample from the link provided in the description below. And you can also watch the getting started video titled Xamarin Forms Data Grid Getting Started, which I have shared in this YouTube card. In the getting started tutorial, we saw how to bind data to the data grid using the item source property. Let me run this application in the Android emulator. You can see the data grid bound with data. Now, I will show you how to enable sorting in the data grid. To perform sort operations in the SF data grid, I set the allow sorting property to true. I save the file. I click on the order ID column. You can see the column header with the sort icon in ascending order. I again click on the header cell. You can see the column is sorted in the descending order. I click again. The column sorted to ascending again. To clear the sort order and arrange the rows as like in the data source, I need to enable tri-state sorting. To achieve it, in the SF data grid, I set the allow tri-state sorting property to true. I save the file. I choose the customer ID column to sort. You can notice that the values are in unsorted state. I click the customer ID column header to sort. It sorts the column in ascending order. I click again. It sorts in descending order. I again click the header. It unsorts the column, that is, the actual order of the values. I click the customer ID column header to sort. Let me click on the order ID column. It sorts the order ID by ascending order, but it clears the sort order of customer ID column. To sort multiple columns, I can use the allow multi-sorting property and set the value to true. I save the file. I click on the customer ID column. It sorts the value in ascending order. I click the order ID. It sorts the values in the ascending order. I again click the order ID. It sorts the value in the descending order. Next, let me show you how to sort columns programmatically. In the SF data grid, I add the sort column descriptions property, and within it, I can define one or more sort columns. I add one sort column description property and set the column name as order ID so that I can sort order ID column. I set the sort direction to descending so that it sorts the values in ascending order. I save the file. You can see the order ID column is sorted in descending order. Now, I will show you how to sort when I double tap on the header. To achieve it, in the SF data grid, I add the sort tap action property and set the value to double tap. The default value is single tap. I save the file. I double tap on the order ID column header. It clears the sort order. I again double tap the order ID. It sorts the values in ascending order. All these properties can be set in the code behind instead of XAML. Let me show you how to access these properties in code behind. In the code behind, I access the data grid object and set the allow sorting property to true. I set the allow tri-state sorting to true. In the same way, I set the allow multi-sorting to true. I set the sort tap action to double tap. Finally, I add the sort column descriptions property and add one sort column description and set the column name as order ID and set the sort direction as descending. I remove the code from the XAML part. Since I have set the same settings in the code behind, I run the application. You can see the order ID column is sorted in descending order. I double tap on the header cell to clear the sort order. I again double tap the column to sort the values in ascending order. Next, let me show you how to disable sorting using events for an individual column. I hook the sort column's changing event. And within the method, I check for a condition whether the column name is equal to order ID, and if so, I set the events cancel property to true so that I cannot perform sort operations on order ID column. I place a breakpoint here. I run the application. You can see the order ID sorted in descending order. I double tap on order ID column. The breakpoint hits, which means we try to sort the order ID column. I run the application so that it cancels the sort action. You can see the sort action performed on the order ID was cancelled. Now let me show how these sorting properties work in iOS. I change the startup project to iOS. I run the application. You can see the order ID column is sorted in descending order. I double tap on the customer ID header cell. It sorts the value in ascending order. Now let me show how these sorting properties work in UWP. I change the startup project to UWP. I run the application. You can see the order ID column is sorted in descending order. I double tap on the customer ID header cell. It sorts the values in ascending order. Finally, let me summarize the main points. I explained the steps to enable sorting and how to enable tri-state sorting. Also, I showed you how to sort columns programmatically, sort column by double-clicking, and finally I showed you how to disable sorting for an individual column. You can download this working example from the GitHub link in the video description below. You can also check if you are eligible for our community license, which gives you a free license key to use our Xamarin products. If you found this video useful, click the like button and subscribe to our channel to get notifications about new videos. Thanks for watching.